Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. My name is Vetta, and as always, I am joined by my brother Matt.
Hi, you guys.
And this month, we are continuing with the popular theme that you asked for us to do again, double features. So on today's episode, we are going to do the Crazies, the 1973 version and the 2010 version. But
Mm.
before we get started talking about the movies, let's talk about what we're drinking. Matt, what do you have?
So I am drinking what is called the Crazy.
Oh,
And
nice.
if you look at it, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see it, but it's like half green, half red. I don't know how I did that, but I was like,
It kind of looks
I,
like those Astro Pops from when we were
oh
kids.
yeah, but I don't know how I got it like that. I think because I added some so this is Malibu coconut rum, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'm coming to find. It's fine though. It's melon liqueur, pineapple juice, raspberry pucker, and then Mountain Dew. But I added a splash of grenadine. I think that's what the red is. Like I added
Yeah.
just a little splash, but it just
It
sank to
can't
the
mix with
bottom.
the
So,
Mountain Dew because the
yeah,
Mountain Dew
yeah,
rots
yeah, yeah,
everything.
right. You throw in the grenadine, the granine's like, ew, Mountain Dew. Gross. I'll stay over here.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
So mine has melted because I made it a while ago, but I'm still going to drink it. It is a frozen blue water margarita. And you're probably
Nice.
going, why this drink? So on many websites, this
Hmm.
apparently is the official drink of the state of Iowa, where the 2010 crazies take place. The
Oh,
1973 takes place in Pennsylvania.
I'm glad that you remembered that because I did
I
not.
didn't.
But
IMDb told me so.
I thought you just did it because the
The
water's
water. Yeah,
got the
there's
what
that
was
too.
they got the Trixie virus. I love the name of this virus.
Oh
I
yeah, in the 19th.
every yeah in the 90s every time they said the Trixie virus, I was like, you guys, this sounds like something out of RuPaul's Drag Race. You guys should have named it something
Right.
different. I was like, there's something totally different should be going on in this town. Like
Yeah. Well, and the
it should.
1973 was done by George A. Romero.
Yes, yes.
So
Which
so that was I was like when
I
that popped on, I was like, ooh, fun fact. I did not know that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that but now that you mentioned it, do you consider these fuckers zombies?
No,
See, me
I consider
neither.
it more like a mad cow disease situation or like the early onsets of rabies.
Right, because you can't talk to somebody, a zombie. You can be like, hey, zombie, and the zombie be like, huh? And like you like and then 2010 when those two psychos show up in their house and they're like, he's like, this is the gun that killed your pa. And I'm all like,
Yeah.
yeah, zombies don't talk like that. They're not all
No,
like you know,
no, no.
but
All
yeah,
right, so
yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna
Sorry.
give the quick little synopsis of
Right
both
on.
these movies because they have the same. So it's pretty much the government has made this bioweapon. They're transporting it to be quote unquote destroyed. But come on, you know as well as I do, the government, when they say destroy, it's going to some secret bunker somewhere and being stored for a later
Right.
date.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
right next to
Nothing gets destroyed.
COVID-19,
Exactly.
right?
Nothing gets
No.
destroyed.
So the plane crashes. This bioweapon gets into this. In both movies, it's small towns in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm.
It gets into their water supply
Right.
because it seeps into the groundwater and it makes people go crazy, like crazy, crazy. And
Hmm.
I want to say murderous crazy. I don't think it just makes them crazy. Like no one's schizophrenic or bipolar. They're all like sociopath serial killer situations. They go batshit murderous crazy. It's
Right.
almost the opposite or a different way of when we did The Happening and the plans
Mm.
caused everyone to commit suicide. In this one, it causes everyone to turn into a murderer.
Murder.
Yeah. So, and long story short, there's a small group in both movies that is trying to get away from the government agency
Hmm.
that has quarantined, and they think that the government's there to help them, but the government's not. They're there to
No.
contain.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
destroy.
yeah, and so you get to see these people trying to escape the town and everything. So let's dive into these. So
Yeah.
In the 1973, I'm going to start with the 1973. So
Like, yeah, the best place to start at the
right.
beginning.
So the 1973 version, I loved it in the aspects of the whole time you're watching it. I don't know about you, but the whole time I was like, oh man, I remember that. Like, or
Well, I
like the
have to.
cars. I was like, oh my gosh, our neighbor drove one of those.
Right on. Well, I just have to say, like, first off, like so I thought when I watched the trailer that I would hate the 73 version, but I didn't hate it. My biggest problem was, okay, so these movies are pretty much the same length. They're both like over 100 minutes or whatever. But this 1973 one just felt like so much longer to me. Like I was just like, can we wrap this shit up? I'm like,
Because
I'm
it
tired of this
shows
bad
them
acting.
hiding a lot. And in
Oh my
the
God, it's
2010, it shows them hiding, but there's always a conflict. Like they're always fighting someone. Like they decide to go into the gas station and there's the guys hunting humans and things
right.
like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. The
So
one thing I did appreciate though that the 2010 one didn't do is we got some more like stuff with the government, like that when they call the doctor or whatever, and they're like it was being transferred to it wasn't a vaccine, it was a
bioweapon.
bioweapon and everything. And I'm all like, oh, okay. And the doctor's all like, I need help and everything, I need more
Yeah.
help. And
Well, it was really good on that one because you actually seen like they tried like in advance, they like were crossing their fingers and they were hoping that their cleanup situation would stop it from contaminating the town.
right. Yeah, they
And
also they go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say they also did a lot of close-ups on like clothing, like tidy whities and shit when
Yeah.
that one dude is packing. And then like later on in the movie, they if I'm trying to remember, they just do a lot of close-up of random shit, putting one thing into another, and I'm all like, why are we closing up on this? I'm confused. I'm
And in the
confused.
1973 version, you get boobies.
Yeah, you do, which is
You
always
don't in the
nice.
2010 version.
Yeah,
No boobies.
lame. Yeah,
So, and then the other thing I like in the 1973 version is that they think that they have like a vaccine, like they're giving everybody shots, but the shot doesn't do shit. Everybody
right,
still gets it. Um, and I liked how when they were like in the beginning, because that same house fire on the farm where the dad burns down his house, that happens in both movies. In
right,
the
yeah,
second, in the 2010, it's not the first kill like it is in the 1973. It's actually, I think, like the second, because the first one's, we'll get to that.
yeah,
Um, and that one I was kind of like, man, and that guy, that's bananas, because the guy burns down his house with his kids and his wife in it. But my whole thing is when the firemen are all talking, they're like, yeah, he was laughing when we got here. But when they show him in the car, he's like crying, like he snapped to and knows
right,
what he did, which is why these can't be zombies. This is
right, yeah.
definitely a mental eats the brain
For
situation,
sure, for sure. I
not
agree.
you eat the brain. So
Right. Yeah.
um
I also go ahead. No, you go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I love the weapons in this.
For
Oh my
sure.
God. The
For sure.
guns, they all look like toy guns we had when we were kids or BB guns. They don't look like real weapons.
Right on. I also loved some of the kills from the 1973 one. Like that old lady kill was just like fantastic. Like she was all like sitting there knit. She's like, hello. And I'm like, don't trust her. Don't trust her. I don't trust her. And then she walks up and she doesn't put the
He's
needle
knitting
down.
in
I'm
the
all like,
dark.
yeah, I'm all like, and then he gets stabbed. And like, which by the way, I was like, the red paint wasn't convincing me, but I was like, whatever, cheapness.
Oh,
I
that
get
was my favorite, the
it.
blood in
Yeah.
the show. Oh,
So
so good.
yeah, but but she stabbed him. I was like, you deserve that because I saw that coming, and I was like, I was like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't have trusted her like right off the bat and
No,
everything.
his gun should have been up and he should have been like, put the weapon down, ma'am.
Yeah, like yeah, Dad, you don't trust the fuck you old people. I'm not trusting any of you. Like, I
You
mean,
shouldn't trust anyone who's knitting in the dark.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't trust
Opens
anybody
that door.
knitting, let alone in the
No.
dark. But like you said, there was like so many like the thing about the 1973 one is, and I didn't hate it, but it was kind of at some points it was just so boring because it was just these long, drawn out conversations, and I'm all like, we can cut
Or them
half of
running
this.
in the
Yeah, yeah,
woods.
yeah, like yeah, and hiding from a helicopter. I'm all like, this is a lot and everything. I'm like, This is like what, a 15-minute scene that could have been like tops 5 minutes. I'm all like, we're just wasting our time at this point.
Didn't even need to be that long. They should have showed the helicopter. They seen the helicopter.
Right.
They ran into the woods, and then they're going into the farmhouse because the helicopter's gone and didn't see them. This could have been all of like 45 seconds tops, but no,
Right
they
on.
dragged it out to like forever.
Hmm.
Um, I also liked the guy with the flamethrower in the farm field with the
Hmm.
crazy girl who made out with her dad.
Yeah, right. Be like, I'm sorry, you have to die now. That's
Which the
gross.
dad did. He's the only suicide in this. He killed himself because he realized he made out with his daughter, which
Hmm.
is gross. So he hung himself. Um, yeah, the guy with the flamethrower was kind of bananas. Like
Right on. Yeah, yeah,
he
it
just
was
wanted to play with the sheep.
right. Yeah. It's all about those goddamn sheep, which I'm all like, well, sheep aren't even cool. Come on, come on. So, um, yeah, no, there was like, yeah, I love how the town, I loved when at the beginning when they're, when the government's coming in and you got that club and people are just dancing away, and then like in come these dudes in these like fake white outfits, all like, hey, buddy, come on, let's get out of here. That was another thing I had a problem with the 73 version. A lot of the times it was either guys in masks talking like this, like, hey, come here, or it was somebody like, hey, Tom, where are we gonna go? We're going over to the community center. We can hide out there. And I'm all like, what did he say? I'm so
And
confused.
they
Like,
were very inconsistent with the masks. Like sometimes they were just taking the masks off to talk to each other and then would put it back on. And I'm like, but you've already said this was in the water. If it's
right
in the
on.
water, aren't you safe?
Right, right. I also did love the when the crazies when they fought back
Oh,
against the
the
government in
lady with
that
the
field.
broom that's sweeping
That
the
was
field.
great. That was great because I'm all like, and then you had the one lady that was just waving her hands like, "Hey, look at me!" And I'm all like, "What's going on here? This is a horrible battle plan." But at the same time, they won. I'm all like, you guys are bad." So I don't know if they know if they're soldiers or not, but I was like, "You guys are just not good at this," you know. Um,
But when that lady came out with the broom and was running, at first I was like, hey, you got to grab whatever weapon. But she didn't even attack anyone. She started sweeping the field.
right, yeah, like which I was like, honey, I was like, but I was like at the same time, I'm like, well, you are crazy,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and like, and how did you feel about the ending to the 73 one?
I liked it in the aspects that it, was what's the right word? No one got away from it, except for the guy that they think had an immunity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they said that the symptoms take what, 4 to 5 days to show up, which they show at the end of the movie that they're seeing other cities with cases. So obviously it's already out and about and can be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they were not taking people to safety. They were flat out killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And why did the nurse leave? Wouldn't Judy have been safer staying in the doctor's office helping than running like she did?
Yeah, I think so because like I don't know, dude. It was just crazy. I just like the thing about that one is I was just like how much of that was so like fanciful and like just like when he's like, I gotta call the president so we can drop a nuclear bomb. I'm like, wait, what? What? Like on a small town, a whole nuclear bomb? Like what? What's going
You
on
can't
here?
just cause a forest fire?
Yeah, just send one of those. What are those called? Where they just send like a couple of planes and they just drop a whole bunch of
A
missiles
drones?
yeah, like a drone, a couple of drone
Drone
strikes.
strike?
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
don't even think they
oh
needed to do drone strikes. Just set a forest fire. Just burn. You don't even, that's what you tell
yeah,
everyone, that
yeah,
there was like a gas leak and the town caught on fire and it happened in the dead of the night while people slept. There was no warning. Like,
yeah,
you a
and then just
nuclear bomb. Like,
yeah, and then just end it with, but it's okay, you guys. They made out with their daughters. It was weird, and
yeah.
then everybody been
Well,
like, okay, we get it,
well,
It's
and I go in 1973, like That's the go-to, the nuclear bomb. Did we not learn?
That's yeah. Yeah, that's their thing. They're just all like, what? There's a virus? Bomb them. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? What's going on here? You're crazy.
No, the president's like, I get to hit the button. The
Right.
button. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right on. Can we move over to the
2010
2010 one?
version?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I this one, okay, so I just want to say I saw this one in theaters when it
Did
came
you
out.
really?
I
Oh, lucky
did.
duck.
Not Lucky Duck because I didn't like it then and I don't like it now, okay? I just
You
like
spent money on it.
I did, which it was a waste of time. But the thing that I did like about this one, and you already said something about it, was that the fact that there's a little bit more action when the people are hiding because
Mhm.
they have a group of crazies just fucking with them and everything. But
And they
that first
show
one
way
didn't.
more crazy kills in general in this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Although if this one would have had, a broom sweeping woman and an army of crazies in the attacking soldiers, I would have been fine with that. That would have made it fun too.
They do have an army of crazies at the high school. Remember, they break through the
Yeah,
fence,
but that wasn't that.
but
That
there's
was just
no
like
broom sweeping.
there's
I
no broom
mean,
sweeping, and they really don't like attack the soldiers.
how
This
amazing would that have been if they would have brought that sweeping actress back? She was in the back of the truck sweeping the truck
just
that
yeah,
breaks through the fence, just
that'd have
still
been fun.
sweeping, just old.
Yeah, at this point, it would have anything would have been fun and everything. So okay, so the thing about this one is okay. So the first kill of the first crazy was that dude with the shotgun or rifle or whatever at the baseball game, right?
Which we find his farm is the
Yeah,
closest
is the
to
closest.
where the crash occurred.
Yeah, because yeah. So I loved well, I didn't love it, but when they're at the funeral home and they are just so dead set that this guy was drunk. He's like, he was
Every
drinking and everything. And they're like, oh, he's a big drunk and everything. And then
the
when they
whole
find
town.
yeah, the whole town, he's just like, oh, you know that Ron, he's just a drinking all the time and everything. And it's
And the
and
wife's like, no, he's been sober and proud.
yeah. And I just the whole time I was just like, you guys, they said Tom was not drinking. I don't even know if that was his name, but
I don't remember his
I was
name
like,
either.
you guys
Roy.
need
What's his name? Roy?
sure, yeah, it was
Let's go with
Roy.
Roy.
Yeah, Roy. I love Roy. Poor Roy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just like I was just like,
And in
huh,
this
interesting.
and in this movie, Judy's the town doctor and
Yes.
David's the sheriff. So,
Yes.
and she actually treats the guy that burns down the house with his wife and son with her his wife and son in it that day that he kills them, and she knows there's something seriously wrong, but
Hmm.
she wants to take him into, I want to say, was it Cedar Rapids or Cedar Rapids, I think, for an MRI, but he kills his whole family before that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I like that both Judys are pregnant in this, which we
Yes.
didn't mention in the first one. And
Yes.
when they all get taken to the high school for this one, because in both they're using the high school as like the place to go. That and a truck stop on the end of town is where you go if you're not infected. If you're infected, you stay at the high school.
Hmm.
But their way of finding out if you were infected was your temperature.
Yeah, yeah, like if you've got a fever, you're a psychopath. Like
But
just
what if
like
you're one of those people that you don't run, like I don't run at 98.6. I'm a 97.8 or some bullshit.
right,
My
yeah.
temperature's lower. What if you're one of those people that always runs at like 99.8 or some bullshit?
I
You
guess
fucked.
yeah, you're just gonna get impaled by a crazy person with a pitchfork,
Oh God, the principal.
Yeah, the principal, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I love how the crazies in this one, they were just like, they'd be like, Tom, Tom, Tom. And he's like, huh? Oh, hey, what's up? And everything. And then like be
And then
like,
stab him.
yeah, be like, she's always worrying about me. And then they're like, yeah, all right, cool. And everything. He's like, she's always worried about me. And I'm all like, yeah, you said that, fucker. You're like,
Well, in this one, they have the truck full of hunters that are hunting people because they're all crazy.
mm-hmm.
And they have a truck full of dead bodies, which
Yes.
is fun. Then we find out
Always
when
fun.
everyone gets to the truck stop to try to get on one of the buses to get out of town that there's nobody on any bus. They're all being loaded in the back of like semi-trailers and shot
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
and then burned.
Yes, because the government is dead set on getting this shit taken care of. I also real quick when before all that happens, when he goes to the examiner to check out that one body, and the
Oh, and
examiner
the
and
saw
yeah, the
guy.
Saul's coming for his nuts. I'm like, yeah, save your dick, dude, save your dick, and everything. And the one cop steps on his thing. I was like, you owe that guy everything. I was like, he saved your dick, dude. I was like, if your dick would have got cut off, what's the point of living after that? You know what I'm
I
saying?
forgot about that part, but yeah, the minute you said it, it came back. Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, and I saw the slack in it. And I was like, oh, this isn't going to be one of those movies where it unplugs itself and
Yeah,
just
yeah, right,
skins
right.
his
Yeah,
pants.
right.
Nope, it's going. And then the guy's foot comes out of nowhere and just steps on it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah. And
yeah.
what about that one? So the main guy, Rory in the 2010 one. So he's all a dead set about saving his wife. But there's one guy that he runs into that he's all like, where's Janet? And he's like, oh, they took her. And
He's
you just
like,
let
oh, she's infected. She's at
you
the
just let
high
him
school.
take your wife. And he's like, he's like, what did you want me to do? I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? That was your wife. Like, what is your fucking
He
problem?
totally was like, I'm not infected. I got to take my chance to get out. But
And
you don't worry. He got what was coming to him. He's in the back of that tractor trailer, shot up and burned to
yeah,
death.
right. Yeah,
So
because he trusted because he trusted the government. Yeah. If
exactly.
let me just say right now, I would have been somebody like hiding in a barn somewhere because I would have not been trusting the government and everything.
Oh, I would have laid in a ditch and just laid there because they weren't checking ditches.
Right, right. I would, yeah, exactly, and everything. I would have just done anything I could. Although I do want to talk about the ending because
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit because this okay, can we just talk about it now? The ending, right?
Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit on their actual nuclear attack because so they're in a semi truck, right? Or just yeah, just in the semi truck part, and they're driving as fast as they can down this road, and the bomb like hits because they've got the walkie talkie and they're like listening
Yeah.
to the government or whatnot, and they're counting down, which I'm like, that's nice of them. And the bomb like hits and everything, and I was like, and then their truck gets flipped over or whatever, and they survived, and I was just like, I'm calling bullshit on this
They
nonsense.
only survive. They don't have a scratch on them and
Yeah,
they get out. And I'm going to go with, I don't really see in that situation they put a seatbelt on. I
right.
go,
I just yeah.
how did you like when they were in the car wash and the Black Hawk
Oh.
helicopter came down and was like, I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I loved the car
oh,
wash scene
oh, the
because
car wash was
when they get in, I'm like, are those things so like you cannot back out of them and everything? And I was like, and these car wash workers, I wonder if they're like, oh, here's Rory, that motherfucker never tips. They're like, we're gonna go ham on his ass and go crazy stuff.
because his wife's a town doctor and he lives in that big farmhouse. We know he's got money.
Yeah, exactly, and everything. But I loved how first off there was a lot of car washer crazies and everything. But they did get what's her face Becca.
Becky, yeah,
They got
Becca,
her, yeah. And
yeah.
I was like, well,
She was going crazy anyways.
yeah, she
She
was.
was,
Oh, yeah, yeah, she was going crazy and stuff. So, but when that one crazy just popped up, I was just like, hello, and everything. And and she just let him wrap that little thought, but I think I would have been like, and everything. Because she's like kicking the one in his face, and I'm all like, Becky, you let your guard down now? Like what? Like Becky, honey, like
she needed a breather.
yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I feel like she was looking at the crazy in his eyes as he kills her, and I'm all like, Becky, you need to
But
put up
she's
a.
crazy
I mean,
too.
maybe you're right. Maybe that did take over, and then I do like how the car leaves the car wash, and it just immediately gets bombed, and I was like,
Because
you
they think the
guys,
Black Hawk's gone, but it's like their test to see. And
right?
it's like the minute it is clear of that building, it is
Yeah,
toast.
it's
Which
like
I go,
boom.
would they have waited or would they have just sent a rocket into the building?
I think they would have just sent a rocket into it and
Yeah.
everything. Um,
Yeah. How did you
yeah.
like the deputy who kept saying he wasn't crazy, but you knew he was crazy long before it was confirmed?
I mean, I did like him because
Yeah.
I just felt like he was all like, like, hey, Well, he ended up being a good guy, because he
Well,
like
yeah, even as a crazy, he wasn't like going crazy and trying to kill them. His crazy was still defending and, helping
right.
protect them. He just
Yeah.
wanted to be in charge.
One thing, okay, so one thing we forgot to talk about, like it was earlier and everything, which is it's fine now, but I love how Becky's boyfriend, they go to her boyfriend, her baseball boyfriend, and they're hiding out in his barn and they just bring his mom out and everything. And then
Burner.
her boyfriend's like, Mama, and everything. And he's like they shoot the fuck out of him, like, and he flies back like you know how you see in those movies where you shoot somebody and they like fly back. He really does.
He
But I feel
did.
like it was the momentum of him running forward and just like getting stopped hardcore by
A bunch of bullets.
yeah, bullets. And then the mom's like, oh my baby, and they just shoot her also. And then they flame those
Flamethrower
fuckers
him. Yup.
right away. They just like don't waste any time. They're like, light them up and everything. You're just
Yeah,
like,
it's not like in the last one where you didn't see a flamethrower till like close to the end in the
right, yeah,
1970s. You see the
yeah,
flamethrower like almost immediately. Like they shoot you and burn you. You're
yeah,
done.
yeah. So then what else did okay, so then the big thing was when they stop at that was it the bus stop?
The truck stop
Yeah, the truck stop.
where
And
the buses were to take them out of quote unquote out of town, but
yeah,
really they were taking you into the back of the tractor trailer and shooting you and burning you.
right, exactly. Well, besides that portion of the program, I we did get to
This is
see,
where they get the truck.
yes, but they
And
also
this
have
is
to,
where the hunters find.
yeah, they find them and
Do
everything
you
else.
think they were hunting them from when they were in the street, or do you think it was just a fun coincidence that they were there and
I'll be
found them?
honest with you, I don't know, but yeah, they were hunting them the whole
I
time.
like the idea of they've been hunting them for a
Yeah, I mean,
while.
no, yeah, I'm totally fine with it. It was fun. I just love how I love the one that is underneath that car that or the truck, and he hits him with that wrench, and the guy just like looks at him with his red eyes. He's just like, that didn't even fucking hurt, fucker. And I'm just like, yo, they're crazy. They're coming
I
at you no matter what. So I
was
was
gonna
like,
say, he said, "Haven't you heard? We're crazy."
yeah. So, but and he pulled out a gun. I was like, oh, Rory, you done fucked up. But he like slides that little thing or whatnot. Oh no, he did that before that. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but yeah. And then that ending, like I said, and then they're just walking into that big city, and
And the government's satellite zooms into them so much you can read the numbers on his fucking sheriff's badge. That's
right,
not a thing. Yeah, I don't think I mean, they might be able to. It's the
yeah.
government. They lie to us, so who knows?
Yeah, and then they're just gonna stop them from they're gonna quarantine the city, whatever the city was. I can't
I think it
remember.
was Cedar Rapids. I'm not
Sure,
100%.
yeah, but we'll just go with that because
Yeah.
I don't remember all the details like you do.
Yeah.
But
My whole thing is kind of like, again, people have been coming and going from this town. Other people have drank the water.
yeah, I was very much like I don't know, like I,
Just nuke all of Iowa. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, do it. I just yeah, no, a question. Which
Mhm.
one of these did you like better?
I'm leaning towards the 1973. I liked the
I
kills better in the 2010 from the fact that we got to see more Crazies kills, but I liked the 1973 version because you got more details. Like, we didn't talk about the crazy scientist that just kept saying, "We got to get this back to Dulles." You
mhm,
know, he was the head of the Trixie team or whatever.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Like I was
And
just
it had
like,
the fun name of the Trixies. The other one,
yeah,
we
I
don't even
can't
know what it was called.
yeah, I can't tell you how much I love the fact that it was called the Trixie virus, because the whole time I'm just like, this town should be turning into Wong Fu, thanks for everything. Not friggin', weirdos just grabbing brooms and running through fields and stuff. I'm all like,
What one
but
did you like better?
I did like the 1973 one better, but it was because of the same um reasoning. I thought that it was like I thought that they did a better job in terms of like going through all the details of it. But again, I was just like, this is just like taking way too freaking long. Like I feel like the talking is just like so overwhelming.
Because we got more kills in the 2010, but less details. And I feel
Yeah.
like the 73 version could have given us more kills because we did get a lot of soldier kills in the 1973 versions. I mean, those two guys, the two best friends with Judy, they did kill a lot of soldiers.
Right
Um,
on.
but I feel like they could have done a lot more crazy kills, like where the 2010 version gave us that, but they gave us no details. So you're like, oh, some barrel got into the water and now people are just murdering.
Yeah, just you know me, I just love killing.
Don't get on my bad
Uh,
side, Bob.
right? Yeah. It was fucking crazy. So, but I did
It's called the Crazies, so that makes sense.
for sure. I agree. So yeah. But yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
I was just gonna say yeah.
I was just gonna say, um, what was I gonna say?
I don't know, tell me.
Well, I would if I could remember.
I'll
Oh, well, I was gonna ask you, which leading lady did you like better? 73 or 10?
say 10. Yeah, I
I
just
did
like
too.
I didn't think that the acting in 1973 was very good.
Well, I think you just stated it. Was the acting really that great in 1973 at
Yeah,
all? I
yeah, it
mean,
was just like because the whole time I was just like, man, these like even from the get-go he's all like, "You are unsatiable, my
right.
lady," and I'm just all like, "Oh God, what's going on here? People don't talk like this, honey." Like,
And they definitely didn't talk like that in the 70s.
yeah, I'm just like, can we please stop it? So,
And,
but yeah,
and they're not like, high society people to be talking like that. They're, you know,
hmm
in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. So, I
right
don't know.
on.
Yeah, there was fun things like I did like we didn't talk about in the 1973 where he hid her in the middle of cinder blocks and the cinder blocks have big giant holes in them. I was
Yeah,
like, that's awesome because and she was
yeah,
giggling the whole time because she was going crazy. I did
right.
I did love that part where, you know, because I was like, no one's gonna think to look in there, are they?
Right.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
no. Yeah,
do you have anything else you'd like to add? Would you
I do.
recommend these movies?
I'm gonna say this. I don't have anything else to say about them, and I will say no. Would not recommend these movies.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
a rare George A. Romano where I wouldn't say you should see it. Like most of the time, I love his films.
yeah. This is the thing. I didn't like I said the 73 one. I didn't hate it, but I was just like
No,
while I was watching, I was just like, oh my goodness, can we hurry this up? Because I'm not interested in this anymore. And that was like 20 minutes in. I was like, I am so uninterested in this, like at all. So
I had a super critical eye with the 73 version
yeah,
because I had so much time because nothing was happening.
right on. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, whatever.
I'm like, I've never seen two civilians be able to hit their mark every time, but trained
Right.
soldiers couldn't hit this broadside of a barn.
Right on. Right on.
Because that
Yeah,
is the one
no.
thing in the wood scenes. He has the shootout with like five soldiers and kills all five of them. And they don't
Right.
even come
Right.
close to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go, yeah, it's one of those things that, again, because this is a drinking podcast, you could do many things where you could turn either of these movies into a drinking game for sure. You could do a shot on the 73 every time a soldier dies.
Right.
And
Yeah.
in the 2010, every time a crazy kills somebody, you could do a shot. That would
For
definitely
sure.
make it much more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend either of these either, unless you're like a huge Romano fan and you want to see all of his movies. This is probably not one that would come up on your radar every other day, unless you specifically look up a list of his movies.
I
So
agree.
why did I say Romano? Romero. Oh my God, how disrespectful. Blame it on the alcohol.
You're fine. You're fine. You're good. You're good. I enjoyed that you said Romano. Like the
Like he's
cheese.
the cheese. Romero. I do know how to say it. So Alrighty. Well, if you don't have anything else to add, then I'm gonna wrap this one to be up.
Yeah, let's
So,
do it.
all right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. Hear all of our fun fun facts. And see what kind of shenanigans we're up to there. If
All
you
good
listen
things.
to us on Apple or Spotify, please give us a 5-star review. We truly appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. We have also will be posting this to our YouTube channel, so you can check that out at YouTube BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Please hit that like and subscribe button and
Do
shoot us
it.
a little message below. Also, we have started a Patreon. If you like what we're doing here, or you just want to, help us keep drinking and watching movies, um, or you want to hear more of us, go on over there and subscribe. We have levels for everyone. And on the BS Bar, an after hours podcast, we do franchises. We've done Scream, Jurassic Park, Bring It On, Sex in the City, Ghostbusters. So, oh, excuse me. Wow, I gotta wrap this up. This is coming in hard.
That's what she said.
So you can check that out. The link is in the subscription, or
It's all down below, you
the
guys.
links in the description below.
I can't with you right now. You just spit everywhere. I saw it. I can't with you. We were doing good until the very end.
Guys, to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.